Oh, you know what this means. We're getting close. We are getting close. What's up, YouTube? My name's Quickie. Welcome back to the channel. We've got some bits and pieces turned up, and there is more turning up today, which because I'm still missing a couple of bits and odds and sods and stuff before I can really give it a go and, you know, see what's what. But anyway, I've got my brake fluid. Haven't got the brake pads. I'm hoping they're turning up. Calipers look all right. Left them overnight. They're still dangling on the thing, but they're all cured, so that would be cool. So once I get the, what is that? I've got all the seal kits and stuff. I just haven't got the pads for it. So I could get them built up later on, which would be sweet. And then it's just a case of sticking the pads in when they get here. Job's a good one. We're in. So I can get that lot done. We've got throttle cables as well. So they look like they're going to do the job. Yeah, all the fittings and stuff. I think I've got the right ones. You imagine, oh, I've got the wrong ones. Can you send me some different ones, please? But no. So we're in there, and I've also got a whole load of parts washer fluid as well. Because stuff like this, it's, you know, I'm just using detergent in there at the minute. Which this here is just stronger stuff, basically. And we've got some fuel. So once I get the throttle cables on, oh yeah, I need oil and filter. That's on its way as well. But I ain't got a clue what's turning up today. Could be brake pads, could be oil and filter. I don't know. Haven't got a clue. Even if it's not the brake pads, I don't really care. What I want to do is hear it run. I've got today and I've got tomorrow. That's it. So after that, I'm back to dipping in here in the mornings and whatnot and just doing as much as I can do, really. But she is going to be running and it's going to be on the road and I'm going to be using it instead of the shitty van. The van's going all right, actually. Ain't got all Rita Hayworth on me or anything else, so it looks like the starter motor fixed it. So I can just concentrate on this lot now. Right, let's move these out of the way to start with. And I think I'm gonna, yeah, I think I'm gonna do the throttle cables. Yeah. Right, so I got the carbs out again and stuck in the vise. There's some stuff, I didn't cover it in the last video because I just wanted to get stuff basically put back together again and on the bike so I didn't lose anything. So there's a few bits and pieces that I'll go through now with you just so you know what I'm doing. This thing here, I wrongly said that it was a plug that loops around into this chamber so you can set the float height. It's not, it's basically a heater. On the SVK carb that I've got, there's like a little point on here as well. And essentially it's just, you plug it into the bike, although there is no wiring for it on this bike, and it just stops your carburetors icing up. So that's all this is, it's just a heater, that's all, okay? Second thing is this little screw here. That's the pilot screw, or air fuel mixture screw, some people call it. So essentially you've got this thing is like, it's a little needle that's got a spring, a washer and then an O-ring on the end of it that's wound into there. First thing I've got to do is set that. So this is the CVR and that needs to be 1 3/4 turns out. Let me have a look. Yeah, sorry, CVK 32s. It's 1 7/8 turns out. But the CVR 32s, which is what this is, 1 3/4. So if we wind him back in again, so it just bottoms out there. Then go half, 1, 1.5, 1 3/4, and we'll do that on each of them, just because then I know it's done. Half, 1, 1.5, 3/4. There we go. This is going to get set up with a colour tune when I can get one. But for now, this will get us running. It will put us in the ballpark at least. So that's all fine. Next thing is the float heights. So some carbs you can plug like a hose in the bottom, and then you fill it full of fuel, and you know, measure where the level is on the tube. But on this one, basically, we need to set this to 17 mil. Come on. Right. Near as damn it, 17 mil. And what you're doing is measuring the top of the float height off this surface here. So, well, he's low. It is a bit low. Right, so he's going to need to come up a bit then. Oh, a couple of mil. Right. Right, on these, all you're doing is, there's like a little tab. Don't know if you can see, where are you? Right. Let's get a pointy thing. Right, so this little tab here, basically you need to bend that up and down depending on whether the floats are high or low. That's all there is to it really. It's quite a simple thing to do. So you just lift the floats up, bend that tab to where you want it to be, set it back down again, and jobs are good. So obviously we want this to come up a little bit, so that tab's going to be going down. You get the idea anyway, don't you? So where's a little screwdriver? Right, so I've got it all back together again. So all I've done is I've done the air fuel mixture screw, or the pilot screw if that's what you want to call it. They're all adjusted 1 3/4 turns out. The main jet and the emulsion tube has all been wound down, and we set all the float heights to 17 mil, and basically just stuck it all back together again. You don't really need to see that, that's boring. Okay, so throttle cables, they are different. Slightly different part numbers as well. If you look at this end, they're exactly the same by the looks of things. However, this end ain't. Easy way to tell is the one that doesn't have this screw cap on it, that one, that is the pull cable. So that's the one that you're operating when you open it. And if you're unsure about which way to connect it around, just open the butterflies, on which, whatever the rotation is, the one at the other end is the one that opens it. So this one, we might as well stick him on first, I suppose, because he's the awkward one. So what I'll do is open that up a little bit, like this. And he is a bit awkward, because you have to open the butterflies, sneak him into his little guide, which he never wants to do. There we go. And then let the butterflies close again. Then you can kind of get this under the, I'll take out some slack just so you can see what's happening. Get that into his guide there, and then wind the adjuster all the way down. I tend to start out doing it like this, and the only reason is that then come on, you're taking all the slack out the cable. Sorry, you're putting loads of slack into the cable. So when you come to adjust it and get it onto the throttle end, you've got as much room as you possibly could do just to get it done. We only want to hold him in place there for the minute, like that. Then we do the other one. He's a lot easier, because he's right there, look. So actually, let's move you out of the way. There you go. So he goes in there, like that. And back up there, and again the same sort of thing on here. I'll just wind the adjuster down. So there we are, they're on. Sweet! So we are pretty much there. There isn't anything else to adjust on it, or set up on it. Not until we come to doing carb syncing. And then all these little linkages between the two are going to get monkeyed with. I do have a carb sync kit, that's turned up, so we'll be getting that out later on. But this should basically get us running. Now all I need to do is to get this back on the bike. I might even be able to start it today. Alright, so throttle cables are through, just pulled them through the frame, easy enough. Give this a bit of a clean. Just find whilst you've got everything apart, you might as well give it a rub and, give it a clean up, why wouldn't you? Oh yeah, there's a whistle. Right. No burrs or anything on the handlebar, so that's all good. That's all sweet. Right then, so right, I'm going to start putting all this back together. There ain't no in there. That's the pull one. Right, so throttle cables are all in. I've tweaked them up and took the slack out of them, so I do have a tiny bit of play in the throttle. I will go through and just check the manual and just see if it says this is how much you've got to have and set it to that. But before, when we opened the throttle and let go, it just stayed there. But now it snaps back just like that. It's just had a bit of a clean. There wasn't any grubbiness in the tube, between the tube and the handlebar. It was all just dragging the cable. But they're on, so I'm happy with that. So let's route a couple of hoses out the way. You go down there, and that's another job done. Oh. Come on. Here we go. I wonder if I'll get it started today. That would be very good. Right, so forks. Just to get this top nut, it's been mullered by some idiot, as has everything on this bike. But because it's tubular and this top bit rotates, it's quite hard sometimes to get this undone. Easiest way I know is shove it back in the bike. So I stuck it just in the bottom yoke, nipped it up just so it held it snug, and then you can get a socket on there and have at it. This is in soft jaws, and it's only just nipped up. Yeah, here you go, see, it's still spinning. It's only just nipped up, it's just to keep it steady. Obviously I don't want to deform anything. There we go. Right. So if we're having that, oh, stinks. Absolutely stinks. Oh. Right, so let's upend him in the bucket. There's the spacer. Oh, that's nasty. Right, so then we should have a spring. Oop, I'm making a mess. Right, so there's a spring, it's a progressive spring, and the coils are tighter wound at the top. It's what it says in the manual as well, so it's going to be going back in exactly the same way. trying to pump it and get some more of the oil out. Right. You can go there and drain for a minute whilst I get myself sorted. Yeah, blue roll. Right. Move him out of the way. Now all I want to do is to get the damper assembly out the bottom of it. Just want to give it a clean up and stuff. If I was doing all the bushes and, you know, trying to do a proper job and everything else, this would all be coming apart and getting shot blasted and sorted out because it's got scrapes and all sorts on it. But for now, all I'm doing is the seals. That's going to have to wait. Right, so which one is it? Is it that one? Yes. Yep. Let's ease off. Should be a copper crush washer under this as well. That's obviously just going to get binned. I think, well, no, it's still spinning. There we go. Right, so in here, so there's a damper assembly and it just screws in the bottom. And on this, where's the copper washer? Oh, he's stuck in there. Where's a hooky thing? There we go. Right, so it's just a bolt and one of these crush washers. That's in the bin. It will be getting another one. But that is essentially it. That is all there is to it. There's not a massive amount of sludge in the bottom of this either, which is nice to see. But this is so much easier than like the cartridge forks. I mean, that can be a bit awkward, but again, it's the same sort of principle. But essentially, as you compress it, oil is forced through the damper assembly and it basically comes out of these holes. There is no adjustment. There is no adjustment on this. You would sit on there. So yeah, that's it. It's just like a straight through hole. So this is all going to get cleaned up. I'll shove some fluid in the parts washer and we'll give it a bit of a go. But I want to see if I can get these apart first. Because that's why we're doing it after all, eh? Right, you can go over there. Is there anything else? No. Right, so prise off that top cap. There we go. So this dust seal should just prise up. Just kind of work my way around. There we go. So he's off. It's getting replaced anyway. Inside here there is a little clip. I don't know if you can, I'll see if I can do that zoomy thing, but there's this little clip in here. You just see it, it sits in a groove that's machined into the fork leg, and that essentially retains the oil seal. So prise him up. There we go. That's just a little clip. Just springs out into that groove, and that's it. And then we need to bash them apart. Greasy hands, this is going to be fun. There we go. So just using it like a slide hammer, and I'm not going nuts at all. It's just slow and steady. There we go. That's knocked him out. So if you look in the bottom here, there is literally nothing. This is all marred up, that all needs cleaning. It's just grot and I mean, it's coming off. But that's just nasty. And on the bottom here we've got the bushes, which are the bits that I ain't got to replace. There is a little bit of discoloration on this, on the top bush. You can just see it here where it's wearing through. Ideally I would be replacing them, but I haven't got them. So they'll have to do for now. They're not in horrendous shape. I have seen worse, but just that wear and tear there, you know, once it goes through the coating, you know, ideally they would get replaced, but that's going to have to wait. So there's that bushing, then you got a washer, then you got the oil seal, and that's the bugger that we're looking to get rid of. Curled up a little bit on the edges, but nothing massive, not by a long shot. Right, let me get all this cleaned off, and then I'll bring you back and show you how it all goes back together. Right, so this is all clean. I really wish I had that bushing. They come off easy enough. You just shove a screwdriver in the slit and kind of prise them open and pull them off. Job's a good one, and I really wish I had some, but I haven't. So right, so here's all clean. So first things first is you get this bushing in place. So we slide him in there. I'm working on cardboard again just because I don't want any grit and goo from the bench getting in here. So he's in. Right, where's my new toys? I needed one of these anyway. Come on. So, fork seal driver. What are you? That's about right. Right, so you should be home. Right, so I'm just checking to make sure that that bushing is all the way home and down, which certainly looks it. Let's give him another tap. That ain't going to go down any further anyway, is it? Is he all the way down? Yes. Okay. So, pop him back on. So we can live down there. Then we need to get the oil seal on without trashing it. Has that got a flange that? Yes, it has. Gently coax it on. There's no grooves at the top of this fork leg. There we are. For it to snag on. So as long as this bit is clean, which it is, it's just oily, it'll slide down there. Like that. There we go. Right, so more of the same. Just make sure it's not sitting anywhere on the surface that's up against the fork. And all we're looking to do is to knock it down below that groove. Which I think we are. I'm not going mad with it, I'm not bashing the bejesus out of it, it's just steady knocks, you know. Right, he's all the way down. And there's our little clip. So this little clip should now quite happily go into that groove. If it doesn't, you haven't got it down far enough. So he's in. He's in. all the way around. There we go. Not digging at seals or anything. Yeah, he's in. Not sure you can see this, but it just sits in this little groove. It's probably a bit easier to see now the goo's gone. Then we've got a dust seal. We then coax it on over the top, like that. Slide him down and push him home. Well, it's certainly scraping the oil off it. Right. So that's that done. Let's get this bad boy back together. Right, the damper assembly is nice and clean. It's got little holes at the top, bigger holes at the bottom. Obviously there's an oil flow that goes through it. You do have this little piston ring on the top. They do sometimes wear out. You can get replacements. So that's all cool. So is that compressed? Yes. You can go back in the bottom. Like that. Yep. And then with our nut on the bottom, you need a little bit of thread lock. Right. New copper washer. And he's going to go in the bottom. Right, thread lock. Where we'll put that. There we go. Right, little dob on there. And the trouble is you can't grab it on the inside, so it can spin. It's where an impact gun's really handy, but if you can get it to catch. Have you caught you doing up, or you? No, you're still coming out, aren't you? Right, the other thing we can do is to shove something in the end. What have we got this wooden? A broom, that'll do. It's only plastic. Just give it a quick wipe down. There we go. Right. There we go, he started. And we'll whiz him up with the rattle gun. So he's done up. Sucking. Right, so then it's just a reassembly job basically. Actually I need to check on fork oil levels, because I think we have to do that with the springs out. Always did in the past. Right, he's back in the vise, so the fork leg is completely compressed, right? It's as far down as it will go. There is no spring or anything else in it. That's all over here. So now I've just got to fill it full of oil and get the levels right. According to the manual on this bike, it should be 97mm air gap. Well, you know, is what it is. Like I say, it's a really basic fork. There's no real adjustment to it or anything other than changing the weight of oil and the air gaps that you have and all that sort of stuff. But what I want to do is set it to standard, and then I'll have a go on it because I've never ridden one, and we'll see how we go. Apparently it takes 521mm. So what's that, 550 there, so we go into there. Even the bloody oil's purple. Why is it with purple stuff? I don't like purple. And that is pretty much to the top. So let's give him a pump. All we're doing now is working it through the damper rod just so it's evenly distributed, and it is going down. I'm not seeing any bubbles either in the top, which is good. This bit of wood I'm shoving in the other side of the vise is literally just to, you know, stop it all from going a bit skew with. Just an easy way of keeping it where you want it, basically. There we go. So yeah, he's a bit lower. And what I've got is this thing. So this is what I use for checking air gaps. I do it on the race bikes before and all that sort of stuff, but essentially all it is a syringe with a piece of hose. The tube has got millimetre sort of increments on it. And it's just a quick and easy way of doing it basically, but you slide this collar on through there. What did I say, 97? So 97's about there. Nip him up. And all that happens is you sit that on the top, so it's all nice and flat, and you just draw oil through the syringe, and when it goes then you know you've got your right air gap. Come on, move. Why aren't you moving? So if we extend this now, I'll shove him back in there. A bit of wood. There we are. Right. So spring, this is actually the other fork leg, the camera stopped. Couple of things have happened. One is when I pulled the spring out, it was in the other way up. I don't know why, but it's going in the same way as the other one, with the coils closest at the top. So that's happy days. And then the spacer. And he sits just proud, as you can see. So we now got to get the cap back on. Oh yeah, the other thing that happened I'm rushing this one because I need to chip off and stuff and sort Jake out. And I forgot to I forgot to put the bolt in the bottom of this before I tip the oil in it in the vise.
You know what I mean?
The good news is my compressor ain't going to rust in a hurry. But I did make a bit of a mess, so I'm going to have to tidy that up tomorrow. Come on. Sweet. So that's it, 2 forks rebuilt. Right. On a bit of wood. Oh, that's better. Yes. Right, these will get a proper clean down because they're all greasy and oily on the outside. But these can go back in the bike tomorrow. I just need to clean up the bottoms of the fork legs. I'll shove it in the yokes and then I'll tighten the tops down. Just because they're only, I don't really want to clamp it hard enough in this to be able to do them up. Just because it's, you know, that's square and that's round, and I'll just, it won't thank me for it. Right. Right, we are getting there. I've got a fair bit, I haven't started it yet. I really want to start it. I think that's going to happen tomorrow. I've had a little message come through. There's some more bits and pieces at home. Don't know what that is. I'm hoping it's oil and filter or the brake pads. Actually, I'm hoping it's both of them. But if it is, then I can shove the forks back in it and tighten them up. I can get the front wheel and everything else back on. We can sort out the seal kit for the calipers and get them put back on and bled. I can do an oil change and then I can try and start the bugger. I haven't checked the spark plugs. It is going to get another set. I'm just waiting for Friday when I get paid. I've got stuff like, you know, cleaning the chain up and sorting all that stuff out. But if I can get it running, that would be quite, oh, I need to put the stupid exhaust on as well. It's going to be so loud. But anyway, I've got to nip off because I've got to go and sort Jake out, and I've made a proper mess here. So I'll be tidying that up in the morning as well. But anyway, thank you very much for joining this. Hope you enjoy it. Stay safe, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Laters!